Well, hello there, motherfuckers. And 2019 has, been a disaster, to say the least, when it comes to WWE programming. We started off the year, many people thought we were going to get this fresh start that we were promised. We didn't get the fresh start. People believed Vince McMahon, they believed everybody. Oh, a fresh start, some NXT people, things are going to be great. I'm here once again, sitting right here in front of this camera, telling everybody not to get their hopes up, and everyone gets their hopes up, and their hopes are let down once again. So, one of the big storylines we've seen as of late is Stone Cold Cringey Lynch. And Ronda Rousey, who I actually like quite a bit. I was very critical of her at the beginning of 2018. As you all know, I made my famous Ronda Rousey sucks video. And, I proceeded to tear her apart. But then I realized that she's a great wrestler. Just like Ken Shamrock, Ronda Rousey adapted to WWE quite well, and she sells well in the ring. She's a good performer. She had a steel showing WrestleMania match, in my opinion. I thought she had the best match on WrestleMania, with Kurt Angle last year. And she sells. She sells better than Seth freaking Rollins, for example. But now, we have this feud going on, and, everyone loves Becky Lynch, and a lot of people hate me because I have an opinion that contradicts their opinion, which is that I don't like Becky Lynch's character. Now, am I saying that I don't like Becky Lynch? No, I actually have gone on record here on this channel saying that I do like Becky Lynch. I found Becky Lynch to be very attractive. I think she's a good-looking girl. I've said that time and time again. I just said, she needed some sort of character, something to boost her up. But I said, she's a good performer and all that. But, all of a sudden, it was like they started doing this thing. Okay, well, how can we get Becky Lynch over with the crowd? No one gives a shit about her. She's talking about, oh, I want to fulfill my dream. I, keep getting overlooked. So what did they do? They decided, you know what? Let's turn her into the female version of Stone Cold. And right there that there's a lot of problems with that. So Stone Cold Steve Austin is my favorite wrestler of all time. Bar none. He was not only, in my opinion, not only did I think that he was really good in the ring, but he was the best on the mic. This guy could, make you fear him. He could make you laugh. He could do it all. He could play a face. He could play a heel. He could play a tweener. Stone Cold was, the be-all, end-all of a wrestler, of a WWE performer, of a superstar. I mean, that right there, that is all you need when it comes to a wrestler. I mean, that is case in point, being a legend. Stone Cold Steve Austin is a legend's legend. And so when a girl comes along and says that, she's going to be the second coming of Stone Cold, and she's going to embrace that all these... And the thing is, it wasn't even her. I'll give her that. And I don't even think that the creative team wanted to really make her into Stone Cold at first. It was just these rumblings online of how fans were comparing her to Stone Cold Steve Austin simply because they were trying to give her a badass character, as there weren't, any other badass characters throughout the history of wrestling. But, Stone Cold Steve Austin is like the Band-Aid brand when it comes to badasses, because he's the poster boy for what it means to be a badass in wrestling. So I could kind of understand why someone's mind might get immediately drawn to a wrestler like Stone Cold when you're trying to, really cement the fact that someone is a badass. So, you know, this has gone on for months. You know, the smarky crowd, Becky, Becky. You know, they think she's Stone Cold because she wears a leather jacket and Stone Cold wore a leather vest. And she's talking tough. She's moving her head around and shit. And it's just coming off ridiculous. And I've said that in numerous reviews and numerous rants. And, you know, the thing is, she really is not that good at all doing this character. It's very overrated. It is quite bad. And, you know, many people, of course, they're getting drawn into it like a moth to a flame. They're cheering for her, and that's fine. You could like whoever you want to like. You want to think that it's good, go ahead and think it's good. But the problem is that, once again, you know, creative is falling into following what the niche audience is asking for. And, you know, okay, so you might say, okay, so they're giving the fans what they want. That's a good thing. Okay, but you see that the ratings are dropping. So the few casual people that tune in are not in to the Becky Lynch character. They're not buying into it. And if they do catch on to the fact that she is being kind of heralded as the next Stone Cold, I guarantee you people will tune out doubly as fast. But anyway, so now Ronda Rousey and her have crossed paths, and it's gotten to a point now where it's really ridiculous. They've done this thing where she's gotten suspended. They've reinstated her. You gotta go see the doctor. You know, she goes to see the doctor finally. She has a leg brace on. You know, first they say that her leg is not as hurt as she's letting on, and they're going back and forth. They can't even tell the story properly. Becky is not even selling the right leg properly. That's why they gave her the leg brace. And now they arrested her last week. And so now it's kind of like it's just gone in so many different directions. It doesn't even make any fucking sense. I mean, you know, you went from suspending her to firing her, reinstating her. And so, you know, the storyline has just been piss poor. And then you had on Raw, Ronda Rousey lays the title at Stephanie McMahon's feet. I don't even know what's going on. Like, honestly, like I've said time and time again, why do we need to think so hard about a wrestling show? Like, I'm sorry, like, there should be suspense, there should be cliffhangers, but at no point should I have to say, like, what the hell is going on? And it's not like going on like I'm so shocked by the events I'm seeing. It's more like, no, this doesn't make any sense. This is not coherent. A normal human brain cannot process what's going on here. So that is pretty much my reaction to that. That's what I'm getting from that. But so, you know, these two, it's not been a good feud so far. It started all the way back in Survivor Series. You know, this match between Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey was originally scheduled for Survivor Series. So we could have gotten this shit out of the way. They could have already did it late last year. But, you know, there were so many things going on late last year. The Roman Reigns thing, you know, Ronda Rousey getting her face destroyed by Becky Lynch, getting her face destroyed by Nia Jax. And that's why. So we're back here now, and they're going to make it for WrestleMania. And it's almost like they're really happy that they, you know, that they waited this long. But, you know, they also want to get Charlotte involved in it too. So it's not only like they want to put these two in there, but they also want to put Charlotte in there. And I don't know if they're going to take Charlotte out at the last minute, but it's probably going to end up being a triple threat. So anyway, now that we have all the history in there and my opinions at the you know, right here for all to see, just so I can reiterate for the people who are not familiar with my opinions, let's talk about this story right here. So as you can see, you know, this is in Forbes, which is just crazy, and I'll give WWE this. They did back in like the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression era, you would not see ESPN or Sports Illustrated or Forbes talking about wrestling. There used to be some columns in like the New York Post and such that would give you like pay-per-view results and everything, but that was like in the late 90s. Now there actually is more coverage. I have to say they've worked out some deals I guarantee you a lot of people don't look at these articles. Like, for example, you're looking at this article right here on Forbes.com on their main website. Only 14,782 people have viewed this, and I guess one of those is me. And this has been out for a few days now, since February 28th, and was posted at 7:04 p.m. at night. So no one gives a shit about this fucking article. But what is this article about? Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey's non-PG Twitter beef is getting uglier by the second. So, the main storyline has been absolutely horrible. It makes no sense. It's gone back and forth. It's been pretty fucking stupid, to say the least. But, let's see what they're talking about. You know, Twitter beef. You know, what are these? Two rappers? What's going on here? So, let's take a look. Let's get old Brock Lesnar off our screen here. And let's see exactly what's going on. Oh, yeah. We've all seen this. The fake mugshot and everything with Becky Lynch. And, like, you know, anyone can see that this type of mugshot is just not realistic to begin with. And they've done these type of mugshots. They've even done one with Vince McMahon in it. So let's take a look. So, you know, the man, you know, she made sure she put her Twitter handle to the man. And so let's see what she says here. Ronda, you go back and get the belt because I didn't come this far to collect it from Stephanie. I came all this way to take it from you. So, you know, right away, okay, so we've got a kayfabe tweet here. And this is absolutely pointless, as you all know, because we talk about this on a weekly basis here on this channel. Why even bother doing a kayfabe post when we saw before Becky Lynch became the man? I follow her on Instagram. She's posting pictures of desserts. She's posting pictures of her workouts. Never was she a badass. You know, she was just this girly girl. And, you know, aside from that, you know, like, you didn't see any type of badass coming from her. But, you know, okay, you want to go along with the character and say, you know, she was pushed over the edge. She, you know, couldn't take it anymore. She wanted to get an opportunity. And so, you know, she just basically went berserk. Okay, so you want to sell that. But anyway, you know, whatever. So she posts this up, and here's the mugshot. Ooh, you know, very edgy stuff, right? And so let's see what else she says. Okay, so Ronda Rousey responds right here and says, "That's what I'm trying to do, dumbass. You hobbling around trying to be a ginger crutch ninja and taking fake prison photos in the hallway isn't helping." And that's actually, okay, that post, that's pretty cringy, but that's also pretty funny in the same respect. I don't know what she's pretty much saying. You know, she did lay down the belt, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. Yeah, her hobbling around the crutches looks fucking retarded. She's not even selling it well, so they might as well just forget about that whole thing about her leg being injured and everything. And yeah, the funny thing is if you look at that photo, I mean, look at the, let's see if we could get in a little bit closer. If you look at the walls here, that is pretty much your typical WWE backstage area. This is not normally where they would take a mugshot. They tried to, like, make it look like it was, but, you know, I don't know. I'm not a pro on mugshots, but, you know, they tried to make it cool and everything. But, you know, even when Stone Cold got arrested, they didn't have to do a mugshot and everything. I understand, like, that might add to it a little bit, but it's not really necessary. You get the idea. They don't have to drive the point home. And it just looks stupid. You know, she's got her makeup on and everything like that. It's just, I don't know. It's like more like, you know, she posed for this shot and everything. But anyway, whatever. And, you know, the ginger crutch ninja thing, that's the cringy part I'm saying. That insult right there. You know, the ginger thing and the crutch ninja, like, that's supposed to be clever. Okay, she came up with that on her own. This is obviously not a creative approved thing. They're doing this on their own because Vince McMahon is very unhappy about this situation. He doesn't want them saying this. He doesn't want them to be going on Twitter. That's already gotten out through the dirt sheets that McMahon is unhappy what's going on right here. So what else do we got? So let's say we got Becky Lynch saying, "Keep that F word out of your mouth and concentrate on getting better at this business instead of trying to remain above it. Looking forward to seeing you real soon." Okay, no, and was this? Oh, well, what is line? Like, okay, like, oh god, these pictures right here. They're trying to do memes. They're trying to be funny and everything. Just, oh my god, just stop. I mean. Ooh, the F word. Ooh, we're walking the edge of, is this real or is this fake? No, everyone pretty much knows it's fake. And trying to get better at this business. Becky, how about you actually learn how to sell and learn how to sell the right leg? And, you know, it's funny. It's like, I could kind of tell that they took this upon themselves, that like Becky Lynch is riding high, and that's good that she's got like a renewed sense of confidence as a performer and an entertainer. But the thing is, what I'm looking at through this is that like she doesn't get it. She really doesn't, and like there's no point in doing this, because we all know that this is fake and this walking the line thing. And first of all, if they're going to do any type of material like this is really stupid that McMahon is even getting annoyed at it. And you know why? Because it should fucking be on TV. Why is it on Twitter even? If they're going to add to the storyline, what is the point that they do this thing? I guess it's because she's suspended, so they have to do it on Twitter and everything. But, you know, they're not going to cover it on Raw, I'm pretty sure, because McMahon doesn't like this. And so it doesn't stop there, because there's more tweets coming for you. But, you know, it's funny, it's like she's talking about the business like she's some sort of pro. No, you got some sort of, like, push where, you know, they wanted to try to make you the next big thing, and they're calling you the man and everything, and it's not working. People are not tuning in. So Ronda Rousey shoots back and says, "F word, you mean fake? Fake like your nonsensical BS armbar that doesn't even work and just looks like you're holding the dick you wish you had." Okay, now this post right here, this is what I wanted to say. This was good. I liked this. I wish that type of language and everything, like, okay, if she said this on TV, that would completely bury Becky Lynch, unless Becky Lynch had a good comeback for it, which I don't think they'd be able to muster up. See, you notice that a lot of times when WWE does things, they're just, you know, people are just happy with the bare minimum, like on Raw, like with Batista. Oh, it was Batista. Oh, he attacked Flair. That's heat. Kind of just failing to realize that the actual content that was presented actually wasn't that good. And I said that in my Raw review. I really drove that point home. I said, not that it was like a bad segment or anything, but I said this would have been done a lot better in just about any other era. You know, like the fact that Batista goes into the dressing room, closes the door, and oh, we can't see what's taking place behind the door, and she comes out dragging Flair, and then, you know, at the end Triple H just runs to the back and checks on Flair, and it's basically, it amounts to the same thing we see every week. You know, what wrestler running out there, quick, I need a doctor, you know, and then all the referees come over and all the agents, you know, it's never security, it's always the agents. You know, you're always seeing Jamie Noble and Fit Finlay. Like I said, they're standing around backstage. And the thing is, during that scene with Becky Lynch and Ronda, I think it was the same thing. You know, and first of all, like, when they showed this, the fact that, you know, Ronda would even be in an armbar from Becky Lynch is just unbelievable. Like, okay, first of all, you know, any woman fighting Ronda Rousey would be unbelievable because she would tear them all apart. I get that. Probably the only realistic one would be like Charlotte because she's strong and maybe, you know, somehow, some way Charlotte could overpower her. So I'd start to believe that. But, you know, the fact that like right here, like she's got her in an arm bar, which is one of Ronda's moves, by the way. The fact that she's like, you know, can't get out of it. It's like Ronda's trained to get out of arm bars. She's trained to get out of submission moves in the MMA world. So why would she have a problem with someone like Becky Lynch applying a basic move to her? And yeah, like you look at the move, there's no tension, there's no realism on anything, there's no torque on the arm. I still remember this moment. It wasn't like she was bending it over her leg or anything. She's just kind of holding it straight up. And as she made that, you know, that D reference there, I'm like, okay, so that right there, that is exactly what it looks like. And, you know, like I said, if she said that on TV, it would completely bury her. But, oh man, I mean, that's pretty funny. I'm saying, I'm looking at that and I am laughing. That's funny stuff. And what comes next? Then Becky says, huh, it does look exactly like one now that you mention it. And that's Ronda Rousey's husband, I believe. Yeah, it's not boyfriend, husband. So, you know, that was clever doing that. I mean, it's a little cringy, you know, it's kind of ha 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 with the head on there, but I did like that because let me explain about the D comment here and why it's funny. Because I said that. It's like Becky Lynch is supposed to be like the empowered female. She's the feminist. She's, you know, the tough one. They've shown her, you know, beating up security guards and everything. She's on par with Rousey. Rousey could flip security guards over her shoulder, and so could Becky Lynch. She could, you know, even cuck out Triple H, for fuck's sakes. I mean, it's, you know, Becky Lynch, she's just, you know, she's the man, right? So she's acting like a man. So to say that she wished she had a penis, that's actually pretty funny. And that, if they, you know, weren't so scared on TV, that actually might have went over well. But they're not going to do that. That, I'll tell you, is just, it really is like a wasted opportunity there. They could have had a very, very good moment there on TV when she said that. Like, the crowd would have went, oh, and if anyone was tuning in, they would be like, wow, you know, that's quite the insult. I haven't seen anything like that from WWE in a while. So that was a funny line. But if she said that to her, it would have made Becky look stupid. And especially if it was an ad-libbed line on TV, you could just imagine like Becky looking around thinking for a good comeback. Because I couldn't even think of one that she could say at this very moment. But that was good, though. I'm not really like thinking that, you know, this was like an amazing, you know, exchange of words or anything like that. But, you know, it was, you know, a little bit edgier than what they're used to. It kind of shows that if the talent had a bit more freedom, that they could make the show better. You know, and maybe if they were on the mic, it would have been better than, you know, them just being on Twitter. They could have thought of more to say. But I could see that, you know, Becky is just like, she doesn't have the badass in her. First of all, she doesn't even look like a badass, okay? I've said this time and time again. She's a little, the face that she has, the type of attractiveness that she has, she's not cut out for it. She really isn't. She doesn't have that, you know, killer edge look to her. So I'm just not buying into it, is what I'm saying. Just it's just not, it's not for her. It doesn't matter if you put a leather jacket on her. It doesn't matter if you have her talk tough and say she's gonna kick somebody's ass and call him a B and all that. It doesn't matter. If the person is not cut out for that character, doesn't matter, you know, what you do, they're not going to be able to get that character over. So they finish up with Ronda Rousey saying, Rebecca Quinn, I don't care what the script says, I'm beating the living shit out of you the next time I see you. Okay, so, yeah. I mean, I understand why this might be exciting to certain people, but it's like, the fact that they're even acknowledging that there's a script, stop it already. This just, okay, what this really shows me here is that the talent is getting sick and tired of, you know, basically being restrained all the time. Having the training wheels on all the time. Just, I said this time and time again. Do you see how everyone just has the ability to have access to social media here and just post what they want? I've said it over and over for years on this channel. Kill the fucking kayfabe already. Fuck the kayfabe. It is dead. Any chance that you had of maintaining any sort of level of kayfabe went out the fucking window. And now that The Undertaker is doing these $500,000 interviews and he's totally, you know, giving away, you know, all the secrets, and he's talking about how all these young kids are fucking up the business and everything, which, by the way, I will be talking about that a little bit more in depth, about that Undertaker interview, which is very good, by the way, and definitely worth your time. But you know, the business has been exposed. It's been, keyword, been exposed for a very long time. It's one of the reasons why nobody watches it, because it looks faker than fake. If anything, this period in time when wrestling should be the least fake it's ever been, it actually is the most fake. Because now you have it, now it's not just dirt sheets. These wrestlers literally get on social media, like right here. I'm so happy that this happened, that I have the opportunity to make this video, because it shows you that this is what the current state of the product is. It's a lot of people being restrained and, you know, right inside this wrestling bubble, acting like there's no social, even though there is social media, and they promote their social media, and they tell you to go on Twitter and hashtag this, hashtag WWE Chamber, hashtag WrestleMania, and all this. And, you know, for a company that pushes for social media so much, they completely ignore the fact that these wrestlers have Twitters and Instagram, and that they're always posting like about things in their lives that totally contradict their character on TV. And it's completely ridiculous. Like, I'm supposed to look at these people, what they're doing in their real lives, then tune into a show where they're acting like completely different people? Now, like I said, I understand that it's a TV show. I'm probably one of the few in the YWC that refers to it that way. Other people in here might say it's a sport or some shit like that. You know, they might say, use those types of terms, because they don't want to just say that it's just a TV show. Oh, it's so much more than that. Well, is it? Well, it is. It is a little bit more than that. And that's probably why, you know, we could look at an actor like George Clooney and, you know, see him in an interview and then go watch him in a movie and not bat an eye, because, you know, that's just a movie. He's not like touring around like the whole entire year playing a character, you know, playing a consistent character. You know, he's going to go into a movie, he's going to finish shooting that movie, and then he's going to exit out of it. They're not movie stars. This is a different thing that they're going for here. And it may be a TV show, but, you know, their lives used to be private. Stone Cold didn't used to have a podcast. He didn't used to, you know, have wrestlers on and, you know, and say how they feel about the business and everything, and, you know, tell you, you know, what the storyline and match meant and everything. No. Basically, you watched the show, and everything you knew about Stone Cold was basically in the character. There was no Twitter. There was no Facebook. Social media would not be around for another 7-8 years until something like MySpace came around. So WWE, the only thing they had to worry about was the dirt sheets. And in 1998 and 1999, you know, most people, like, didn't have the internet. A lot of people didn't have internet access. There were quite a few people who did have it, but not as much. And chances that they were going to go onto a wrestling website, were probably, you know, they didn't really have to worry about it. It wasn't a complete non-issue, but, you know, it being a big issue, it wasn't really that big of a deal. But now, in this day and age, it is. So I don't know why they're still acting like this is, you know, as they say, it's a different time. And, you know, I used to get annoyed when Road Dogg used to say that. You know, oh, it's a different time. It can't be good anymore. It's like, first of all, that makes no sense. It's a different time, so it can't be good. It's a different time. Okay, so I understand what he's saying. We'll cut the shit already. I understand what Road Dogg's saying. It's a different time. They can't do that type of offensive material anymore because they're a global company. They don't want to offend certain people and everything like that. Well, okay. I'm not saying that you have to have super offensive, edgy material and all that. You know, it would definitely help. But what I'm saying is you could at least cut the bullshit out with them playing these characters that everyone knows that they're not this character because they follow them on Twitter and Instagram. These people have millions of followers. So it's ridiculous when you're looking at Becky Lynch and she's got like a million something followers, and you know, you can just easily scroll back through her timeline and see that she didn't, you know, used to post this type of shit. So she's not this person. She's not. She's exactly as Ronda Rousey said. She's Rebecca Quinn playing a character, Becky Lynch, on TV that all of a sudden became a badass because she was told to play one. So, you know, I'm just looking at this and I'm just saying, okay, this was a missed opportunity. This was a chance for them to, you know, get something like reality based onto the show. And, okay, so this was unscheduled. They didn't know that they were going to do this on Twitter. As far as, you know, I mean, McMahon is upset about it. So that would indicate that he didn't know about it. So, there you go. I'm just saying this would have been something on the show that would have probably turned a few heads. It was cringy in some parts. Not all the insults were good, but, you know, Ronda Rousey definitely... She definitely had some good things to say on here, and it was better than the scripted promos that she's handed every week. And it would have definitely benefited, you know, both wrestlers to have an exchange that was off the script. I mean, instead, you know, like, these wrestlers are pouring their frustrations out basically on social media. They're unhappy with the direction of their characters. And so what they're doing is they're playing their characters on social media, you know, since they don't have the outlet of TV to do things the way they want to do. And this is just ridiculous at this point. I mean, really, like, just forget about all these restrictions already and having them do things that they don't want to do. Because the thing is, if your heart's not in it, how are you expecting these people to put out a good performance? If they're obviously frustrated with their characters, that might be it. Maybe Becky Lynch could be an awesome badass on TV, but because you're giving her such shit material, she doesn't know what to do with it. You know, and so that's probably the reason why it's not coming off as good as it is. You know, as it could be, because it definitely it's definitely not good. So yeah, guys, there you go. That's what's going on social media. Just a total disregard on WWE's part for, you know, for totally being out of touch with reality, totally just failing to be in touch with their own employees. They have no idea where to go from here. You know, they want a fresh start. You know, they're doing things. They hired back Bruce Pritchard, who Stephanie McMahon and Triple H had fired. I mean, they're going like 1,000 different ways at once. They're going to totally undo themselves. And then you've got the talent just totally just going crazy online with, you know, doing things that management doesn't even want them to do. But wherever, there you go, guys. There's your video. I hope you all enjoyed it. And if you did, please hit a thumbs up. Put a comment down below. Even if you didn't like the video, hit a thumbs down and tell me why down below. Let's discuss it. And guys, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Click the bell so you get all the notifications when I post all my new videos. And guys, I will see you next time.